Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing Art of the Sleeping Bear Dunes, Transforming Nature into Art. And this is primarily a book that features pieces of art that came from a call for people from around the world or the US to submit entries about the Sleeping Bear Dunes. So for those of you not familiar, the Sleeping Bear Dunes are a nationally protected region on one of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan. It has these features of these really big dunes. You can climb some of them, sand dunes that is, and it is a super cool, super beautiful area. But the dunes are not the only feature. There's a lot of other features throughout the protected area, old farmsteads and other beautiful natural areas. And I've had the ability to go visit several times in my life, and it is very, very pretty. So I do highly recommend a visit if you can get there, but even if you can't, I think this book is super cool because it demonstrates a lot of art of just a natural region. It just is kind of focusing that attention of the art to one area, that being the Sleeping Bear Dunes. And I think if you've been, or if you've visited, or if you live around the area, then maybe you'll get more out of the book, but I think it really is for anyone who appreciates art and people taking art and then, or taking nature and interpreting it through art. Whenever I read a book on art, I write down a list of my favorite art pieces, and it is very large. And I realized partway through that I was basically writing down every single piece, so I'm going to have to move very quickly, but there was just so many really good pieces in this book, so I'm just going to call out some of these on here very quickly that I enjoyed and talk about what I enjoyed. If you have this book at home, please mention which ones are your favorite, or if you see anything that I missed, or if you have any additional comments on the ones that I selected, please leave them in the comment section down below. I will also give the page number in case you happen to have a copy. The first one, it's divided into 3 parts. The art's kind of grouped, I should add at the beginning. Let me get the list. The first is lakes, dunes, beaches. The second, forest, meadows, buildings. 3, rivers, creeks, ponds. So it is sort of grouped. The first is on page 35. I really just liked the framing of this one. I thought it was super cool and unique, and there really is nothing that is like it in the entirety of the book. This one, what called to me was the lake color. If you are familiar with Lake Michigan, you know that the lake almost has a variety of colors depending on the sky, the time of day, and a variety of things. This one also relates to one on page 56, which I'll show you now. Not just Lake Michigan has this. When I was camping in Bruce Peninsula National Park in Canada, the water of Lake Huron was like this, and Lake Superior also has some of these qualities. The last time I saw beautiful green water was probably, I'm blanking. It's Miners Castle, but I'm blanking on the nationally designated area that's in. But many lakes have these beautiful water scenes. I don't know if it's the time of year, but I love this winter scene here. Maybe it's because we're getting into winter where I live, that just seems really nice. Page 48. The title of this one is called We Didn't Know Better, and it shows it shows a car on the dunes. I think it tells a full story, and I really like it. Instead of having an abstract title, I'm a simple person. I need the titles to make sense. Something that I talk about a lot in photography collections is when you have a good photographer, they can capture a scene and make you feel how you would feel if you were in the scene. And I feel like the next piece of art I'm going to show you does that quite well. This one, I've been to places like this and I can feel this one. There's one that I think does it even better further on. The next one's on page 61. This is just a fantastic combination of fall, plus the lake, plus the moon, and I really liked the perspective, so I loved this one. Next one is 66. When I flipped the page, so when I flipped to this page, I felt the wind coming off this. I feel this scene. This is what I'm talking about, where a skilled photographer can make you feel what you're looking at. In this case, Beth Scully, Wind Off the Manitou Islands, makes me feel this scene. And I felt like that was indicative to me, at least, of very good talent. I can hear what the wind sounds like coming off the lake in that picture, and I can feel the way it would feel. 67, the title of this is Michigan Mountains, which if you've stood beneath these, that's sort of what they feel like. I thought that was cool. And here's 175. This one, actually, I saw it, and it's like this winter wooded scene. It's called Winter's Ski. It reminded me of a hike I took at the beginning of this year, where I was hiking around 4:30, but it was winter, so it was getting dark. It had this golden sky appearance, trees dead, snow, so you're crunching through snow. And like this scene, I was not hiking here. I was actually hiking close near the Indiana border, the Indiana-Michigan border. But you could see down into this area. It was just like this. I saw this photo and I was like, this piece of art, it's oil on canvas. And I was like, this reminds me of that park that I was hiking in earlier this year. And so I felt like I could feel that one too. And I remembered hiking in that park at like 4:30 and exactly how it felt. This one is called Storms A Brewing. I actually got stuck in a rainstorm in Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park. Oh, Miners Castles That Pictured Rocks. You know when a thought comes to you later? The beautiful blue of the Lake Superior. But I saw it Pictured Rocks, National Lakeshore, which is another nationally protected region. But in Sleeping Bear Dunes, I got stuck in a rainstorm in the dunes once. That was pretty fun. It wasn't dangerous. It wasn't a bad storm, but it was not expected. This one was slightly more abstract than I normally like it, but I liked the way that she did the colors, or he did the colors, my bad. Harvey Gordon. So I liked this one. The next one is pretty bizarre, but I liked it. It's called Beginning of the Annual Red Sox Sunbird Migration Over the Bear. This one was weird. I love the colors. I could not stop staring at this one. The next one is on page 94. For some reason, this gives me Southwest US, like Arizona vibes. Not sure why. Probably the colors, maybe the sun, but I like that one. This is called Ice Breakup at Empire Bluffs, which is a region in the park. Love the winter scenes. Again, I think it might just be that we're starting winter where I live, that I'm loving these winter scenes. This actually reminded me of another book I read and reviewed a few years ago, Ice Caves of Leelanau. I may have privated it because it didn't get a lot of views, so maybe I should make it public again because that's super cool. 102, I marked, it's these yellow trees, which are very beautiful and really light the woods up when it's that time of year. But the reason I included it is because it's actually a Japanese woodblock print, which is one of my favorite forms of art. 123, I pulled because I love in the fall driving down roads that look like this. It just reminds me of like a hot early October day. You got some trees turning. You got this dirt road. Perfect. I can hear the way the rocks from the road sound on the underside of my car, and that's the sign of a good, at least that's my barometer for whether or not I'm enjoying the art. And finally, another fantastic winter scene on page 130. Love it. Fantastic. Marvelous. So now that I've basically shown you the entire photography collection, or not, I keep saying photography, the entire art collection, you don't have to buy the book. Actually, I'm kidding. You should buy the book. It's very good. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. If you've read this book or have any thoughts or comments on the art that I've showed, please leave it in the comment section down below. I love to hear and receive your comments. It really helps me expand on what I've just read and experienced. So please leave your comments in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.